he feeds us with the word of life and the bread of life. We already talked about the word of life, right? He does this Bible study, all the things that refer to him in the Old Testament. But then, as they're getting ready to stop for the night, he kind of pretends he's going further. And they're like, no, stay with us. And so he does. And then in that moment, he takes the bread, he breaks it, and their eyes are opened, and they recognize him. You can see the same movements in the liturgy, in the Mass. We're fed with the word of life, and then we're fed with the bread of life. But here's what I don't want you to miss. As they recognized him, they said to each other, Jesus disappears, said, "Did not our hearts burn within us while he talked to us on the road, while he opened to us the scriptures?" And they rose, and that same hour they returned to Jerusalem, and they found the 11 gathered together and those who were with them. And that group says, "The Lord has risen indeed, and he has appeared to Simon." And they're like, "Yeah, and us." And they told how they recognized him in the breaking of the bread. Do you see how this encounter has made them missionary? The journey that took them all afternoon, they seem to do in a quick hour. It's only from an encounter with Jesus that we can truly become missionary. His peace, his love, his joy, that we can be the missionary disciples that we're called to be. And I'm just going to raise this a little bit. You actually can't not be missionary if you've had that encounter. Remember all those weird stories in the scriptures where Jesus heals somebody and then he immediately says, "Don't tell anybody"? That's so weird. I mean, Lord, isn't the whole point that we're supposed to be telling people? And there's a reason for that in the time of his ministry. But when Jesus says, "Your faith has saved you, go in peace, don't tell anybody," how does that go? They're like, "Okay, well, I mean, you're obviously the Messiah, so whatever you say, my lips are sealed." It never works. They blab it everywhere. They can't stop. They can't not tell of their encounter.